Hey guys, welcome back to Startup Central. So you are probably asking yourself, is everything already too expensive? Am I too late to be buying crypto or Bitcoin? Well, in this video, I'm gonna actually show you my charts and explain you which ones are priced at a good price, that have a good entry price, and which ones I would skip for the moment being because I consider them to be over expensive. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, guys, it is official. We are in a big bull market. Today, we saw the price of Bitcoin touch $42,000 in the wee hours of the morning. And that is an important resistance point, so an important ceiling that needs to be broken for Bitcoin to go further up. Bitcoin tried to break that ceiling. It was not able to, and then it retraced back a little bit. Now, here's the thing, guys. If you are looking into altcoins, altcoins follow usually the move of Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes 5% towards the upside, then altcoins will go further than that. So 5% Bitcoin, probably 10% your altcoins, or 20 or 100%. But the same way that all those altcoins follow Bitcoin on the upside, then when Bitcoin comes back down, altcoins do the same thing, but by double or triple the intensity. So now that we saw Bitcoin go a little bit further down, we are seeing some altcoins touching some lower lows, which means that they might be going further down unless Bitcoin manages to break the $42,000 line. Now, here's something to take into account. Right now, as a Monday, as I spoke yesterday during the live stream, on Mondays, institutional buyers are sitting at their desks trying to figure out what they're going to be doing with their investments. And some of them are, you know that the ETF is coming. So some of them are interested in keeping the price down. During the weekend, that did not happen because they were probably watching Netflix while you and I were glued to our screens. So, but now they're here. They want to keep Bitcoin low. And I don't know if they're going to be accomplishing this, but they want to do this, guys, because their ETFs are coming. And I don't mean 100,000 investors. I mean the big, deep pockets investors, which like in the likes of BlackRock or Vanguard or even Cathie Wood's ARK. So they have millions and millions of dollars to invest in crypto. So they are known, like JP Morgan was fined $1 billion for manipulating the price of gold. They are known to be able to hold, to pull the feet below the water of these cryptos. And they're trying to do that with Bitcoin. However, guys, there's this other thing called supply and demand. And if you and I are not selling our Bitcoin, then even though they try to manipulate the market, it's harder for them to do so because there's no one selling. And I'm sure there's going to be people trying to sell, but most people know that Bitcoin is going to the moon and they're not selling. So they're probably looking into altcoins right now if they're not doing it, managing to do this. And most of us are, because we are seeing the price of Bitcoin already too high potentially. And I know it's going further up. But for the time being, we're going to be looking into better opportunities. Again, guys, I'm not a financial advisor, so everything I'm going to be saying in this video, take it with a grain of salt. Although I have been in the financial industry for some 20 years, again, I'm not a financial advisor. So I'm going to speak to you as if I was speaking to a family member when they ask me about crypto and which one looks more interesting. So let's go to the chart, guys, and see what good opportunities are available for us right now. Okay, let's start with Bitcoin. So as you can see on last night's video, I said we weren't even close to 42,000. I said we're going to probably touch 42,000 and Bitcoin is going to retrace. So that's exactly what happened. We touched 42,079, a little bit above that, and Bitcoin came back down. 42,000 is a strong resistance level. So the price of Bitcoin has touched that level many times in the past, And when it touched it, either as a ceiling or as a floor, it bounced to one or the other side. So if we had been able to break past $42,000, then we would be well on our way to 46,800. But that didn't happen, guys. The opposite happened, because this is the first time in a long time that Bitcoin attempts to break that ceiling. And as you can see here, the same thing happened to the $38,000 limit or ceiling. So if that was hard to break, then this one might also be hard. Especially, again, guys, considering those big institutional buyers trying to hold the price of Bitcoin down, pulling those feet under the water until their ETFs are approved. So potentially this is going to be the game. We're going to be somewhere between 38,000 and 42,000 for a little while. So that gives us two opportunities. One is to try to buy during those bounces, but most people like to hold Bitcoin long term. So if that is not you, then what about other altcoins? So let's start with some of the bigger ones. We have BNB. Last night, BNB broke this barrier, the 231. It had been stuck in that channel for a while, but it came back down. So I don't know what's going on. There's three altcoins that I don't know what's keeping them down. BNB potentially, people don't like the fact that Binance has this issues with the US government. They don't like that CZ stepped down or was forced to step down. And this other guy, Richard Teng from the World Economic Forum, came and stepped into Binance. And I know there's not a lot of fans of the World Economic Forum. It's like the arch-villain of the internet. And I also don't I don't commune with them. But I think BNB is a lot more than Binance and the World Economic Forum. There's a lot of, the network is huge. There's a lot of opportunities. So potentially at some point, BNB will go up, but that is not the case right now. And we're looking for opportunities. Same thing with Cardano. Although we're seeing an uptrend here, we're seeing a slight banner, and this is an interesting one. Once we break the 4090, it will be potentially on our way up. Cardano is that turtle in that story where there's a turtle and a rabbit, and the rabbit's super fast, but in the end, the turtle arrives first. I think Cardano is like that. But this is not the fastest horse in the race. So if you're looking to more instant profits, let's look elsewhere. Same thing, XRP, they should have gone to the moon once they won that case against the SEC. I know it's ongoing, but the big part of that case was won. But they're not going up. Eventually, when they do, these three coins could reach some really interesting highs, but that's not the case right now. Let's go to Presearch. Presearch is a competitor to Google. So the tokens that I like are those that have good fundamentals, good solid business behind them. And we all know what Google is, right, guys? So Presearch, they switch CEOs, same as Binance, but this one is not from the World Economic Forum. And that caused some uncertainty. I think we're getting over that. It has good possibilities. The moving averages are kind of wiggling up and down. So eventually what I think is Presearch is going to go up. And how high up they can go. The all-time high was 48 cents per pre. So that's a nice 20x. If we manage to get there, I believe that at least we can do like a 10x. So we'll see. This is one of my bets. I like Presearch. I like what they're doing. Their search engine is good. The results are good. They need to bring in more people. You earn some crypto each time you search. That went down, the amount of crypto you earn with Pre. So that might be one of the causes that Pre is lower than some other altcoins. But that might change soon. Solana, guys, we spoke about Solana last night. And what I said is that if Bitcoin bounces from the $42,000 ceiling, it would be bouncing down. And that's exactly what happened. Solana touched this descending line, and then it broke this other ascending line. And now it's over here. Today's low is around 59.79. And eventually, if Bitcoin doesn't break the $42,000 barrier, then we'll might be touching the 58 mark and potentially 57. Once it reaches 57, I think it's going to be moving in this channel. So we'll see. Right now, we're getting better, buying prices. But I would love to buy around, if possible, at this Fibonacci retracement line, which is 54, around $54. I have orders at 54. Depending on what Bitcoin does, is whether we're going to be touching this. One of my favorites is VeChain, and VeChain is this in uptrend channel. It has not been able to break above this except for a very few days, but then it bounces back down. Now, what's going to be happening with VeChain, guys, and mark my words, and again, not a financial advisor, but what's going to potentially be happening with VeChain is once every other strong altcoin is expensive, people are going to be looking elsewhere, and they have two options: shitcoins or micro caps or large caps like this that have a solid business. They are in the distribution industry, like the shipping industry. So they already have a business model, and they're going to be looking elsewhere, and they're going to say, I can either invest in this shitcoin or in VeChain, and VeChain is still cheap. The all-time highs, let's see, guys, they were 28, so that's an easy 10 to 12x if we get all the way up, which I think this is going to be a late comer, because some people are not aware that this exists. But even if you're not aware that VeChain exists, it does. It has a business model. They're earning income, and this is potentially going to be here for a long time. So once people are tired of shitcoins and losing money in microcaps, they're going to try to find something more stable with a good upside, and this is VeChain. So right now, guys, it is really, really cheap. I would FOMO into VeChain, because once it's like buying Solana at 35 last week. I think it was last week. When did I buy it at 35? Maybe 10 days ago. So right now it's done a 2x. VeChain is that altcoin, that solid altcoin, is that strong cousin that will get you out of trouble, that you don't go out with, because I don't know, I'm just making a story, but I really believe in them. Chainlink, guys, Chainlink is coming back down a little bit. It bounced up because Bitcoin went up, but now it's coming back down. It still broke above this banner, so potentially it's going to be going up, but I don't see good signs yet. The EMAs are soft, are trending up, but are soft. The RSI is way up. So I think it's going to take a little while for Chainlink to go back up. I rather place purchase orders around 13.3, potentially 14, and not go with there's no uptrend yet. So this is one of those tokens that even if Bitcoin went all the way up to 42,000, they are not reacting in the same way. Polkadot, same thing. They're like, brothers from the same mother. Actually, I'm seeing a little bit of a downtrend here, if you see. We're forming a banner because we see this also here. So if we manage to break above this, then yeah, it might be a good investment. And DOT has been really, really expensive in the past. So the potential to do many X is there. As you can see, we were at 54 at certain point, where right now we're at 550. So that's a 10x from here, which is really nice. I'm sure you would be happy to 10x. If you invest $100, then they could transform into $1,000 if we manage to go all the way up. DOT feels kind of last cycle thing. So maybe a 3x, 4x is more feasible. We never know. Phantom has a lot of potential. Right now, the price broke this wedge line here, but it went back down. So it tested this line, and now it's inside this banner. So potentially it's going to be breaking up. There's a solid ceiling or resistance over here. So it's not my favorite token right now, but it has a lot of potential, guys. Its all-time high is also really high. So if you see here, its all-time high is 3.6, and right now we are at 30. So that's like a 12x. So if you're patient, Phantom might 5 to 10x without a problem. The RSI is in the middle, so it's not. I mean, there are better options, but it's a nice long-term play. Same thing for Near. Same case, it just broke this and it broke several resistances, but then it touched 2.179 and went back down. If it manages to break this one, then potentially it will go up. The EMAs are pointing up, so that's nice. Actually, this one crossed already towards the upside, and I think it's an interesting play. Let's see some other interesting ones. So we have the AI plays. Again, as I mentioned yesterday, my favorite is GRT. It's following this banner, but once it breaks above this, it will probably go to a higher high, and the upside is not bad. GRT, the all-time high was 2.9, so that's an easy, well, not an easy, but that's a 15x. So that's an easy 5x to 10x. And this is why it's one of my favorite AI plays. It's still cheap. The RSI is kind of way up there, might be getting way upper, but the EMAs are pointing up, so that's nice. We can just quickly glance at the other AI plays. Yeah, Fetch AI, I don't think it's perfect. AGAIX, I don't exactly understand what their business model. I mean, they are in AI, and they have this Sophia, the builder of Sophia, this robot with AI is there, but I still don't understand what they're doing. It's kind of misty yet, and I don't love that. We have Tau. It seems already expensive. We don't know how high it's going to be going. Maybe it's going to be going higher. But if you consider the lower, all-time low is 29, that's already up for 14x. So I don't know how high it can go. I mean, it's a bet. Render. This is one of the other interesting bets. There used to be a play for CGI, for them to render their movies, and there was not a huge market because there are not many film producers that are using CGI. But they are trying to use those GPUs to help AI. If their business model is successful, render might be going further up. So I rather invest in render than in Fetch AI or AGIX. Now, one of my favorite is the Dogecoin, and I didn't touch it during the last cycle because I thought it was kind of a meme coin and it was all fine and dandy and some people made a lot of money. But now there's two things happening. One, as you know, Elon Musk bought X or Twitter, and now that he's fighting advertisers like Disney, he's trying to figure out another way to make money with X. What X has is a lot, hundreds of millions of users around the world. So if he manages to introduce payments like WeChat in China and shopping via X, then X is going to go to the moon, but you unfortunately cannot buy X on the stock exchange. So the alternative, we all know that Elon Musk loves Dogecoin. We already saw Tesla Truck. The website that's selling Tesla Truck has code that is preparing for the acceptance of Doge. Someone published this news yesterday. So my impression, and this is a bet, guys, is that Elon Musk, once he enables X as payments, as a payment method and a shopping marketplace like Amazon, if he accepts Doge, or Doge is the official token of X, there's going to be a lot of demand. So I rather place a bet right now in Doge then be sorry that I didn't do that. Another one, Tia. Tia, well, what happened last night was what I expected. Tia was expensive. It has not a lot of history. There's a lot of people who love this token. It could potentially go to the moon. There's a lot of new tokens during bull trends in crypto that come out of nowhere and do 100x. This could be, I don't know. I would place a small bet on Tia. I know people place larger bets. So yeah, there you have it. Optimism. Last night we spoke about optimism. It is in this triangle limit. It will probably break up. And how much way up can it go? Well, right now it's at 1.78. The upside is 3.3. So that is like a 2x. So there are other tokens that can do better. Arbitrum is in a down slope. It kind of recently broke up above this, but we haven't seen it like go to the moon. There is a potential, but we're close to all-time high, so I don't know. Not my favorite one. Caspa, same thing. I would place a small bet. It could go to the moon. It could 100x, but it could not. It's supposed to be a competitor to Bitcoin, which is, I mean, guys, it's like if like Micronesia wanted to compete with the US, with the strongest economy in the world. Yeah, maybe they could have, or let's say Dubai, right? Let's not go to Micronesia. Dubai has a lot of money, but can they become the next US? It's going to be hard. So can Caspa become the next Bitcoin? I doubt it, because Bitcoin has that networking effect and people see it as gold. So can you find another metal that will compete with gold? I mean, it hasn't happened in 4,000 years. So I don't know if that's their business model, competing with Bitcoin. I don't think that's going to be happening. However, guys, there are a lot of people who are loving CAS. So I would place a small bet on this one. One of my favorites in this cycle is Flow. And the only reason why I'm considering it is because Disney is launching an NFT project on Flow. And Disney attracts a lot of people, but they're not crypto people, guys. So most of people that are attracted to NFTs, collecting things, all things Disney, and don't know how to use crypto and are not interested in using crypto and creating their wallet and memorizing their seed phrase and all that stuff. If Disney proposes them to download a Disney app and buy NFTs and sell NFTs through that app, then that might bring a lot of people, a lot of money, a lot of collectors holding their tokens or their NFTs. And Disney announced they're going to be using Flow. So the potential Flow to going back to all-time highs is higher. And the all-time high is 27. Right now we are at less than $1. So that's 70 cents. So that's probably a 30x. So this is one of those plays that sound more interesting than any other. In terms of technical analysis, today Flow just broke above this trend line. So I believe they're going up. So I would consider it. They're trying to be the next chain link. This is one of those bets, guys. This could 100x. I'm not entirely sure, but it will easily 2x or 10x. So why not place a bet here? HNT, we're coming down to the utility tokens. They are building the next decentralized internet. They have been building it for a while, and it's not just like a white paper. They have nodes all around the world, and more nodes even than AT&T, Verizon, Telmex, and all those other American Mobile, which is in all Latin America. So by node, the number of nodes and the presence around the world, they are way better than most phone companies or internet companies. So their business model is good. They need some more marketing and implementing some decisions. But the all-time high, guys, is $56. We are at 2.76. So that's close to 20x. I see this is one of the better plays because it has a lot of utility. They pay AT&T to node operators, which are antennas all around the world, connecting people to the internet through an AT&T. So I like this. They already broke this support line, 2 support lines, and they're trying to break this one, 3.10. Right now, it seems like we're going down. So I would place a buy order around 2.40, 2.50 and see if it goes back up soon. Filecoin is another one of those. They compete with Dropbox. They are the decentralized Dropbox. So you're probably using Dropbox or have used Dropbox or know people who use Dropbox. It has a lot of demand. And Filecoin is doing exactly this. There's some things that as a user, I'm not entirely sure. If I remember well, that you have to pay in file. So every year, the price of Filecoin fluctuates. So you don't know how much you're going to be paying for your cloud services. And I don't think that's great as a user. So they can change their business model a little bit. But look, guys, the all-time high is 238. Right now, we are at 4.6. So that's a big number of X above the current price. There is a descending line here. If we manage to break above this, potentially it's going to the moon. So we'll see. Now we get into gaming. Gala Games. It's an ecosystem. So I know a lot of people are investing into specific games, and those are like going to the horse races. Only one is going to win. The other horses are going to be staying back. So there's only one first prize. But during the gold rush, those who sold shovels were the ones that made the most money. And Gala Games is one of this shovel thing because they have an ecosystem, a lot of games. And so they're not just one single game. So that's why I think Gala Games could go way higher. There is a potential 10x upside. Merit Circle, now called Beam, same thing. We should actually change this to MC because you can see the past history when the token was named MC instead of BIM. They're coming back down. We'll skip this for the moment. And then you have, the Illuviums, the Immutable Access. I'm not the biggest fan of this. Tokens, then we go to an ecosystem. There's potential upside, but there's a lot of competition right now in the crypto gaming sphere for single games. So they're already expensive. So especially Illuvium is expensive. So next we go to S Fund. This is really interesting. They are, again, an ecosystem. They're a launch pad. So if you want to buy into gaming opportunities, S Fund is one of those places where you would go and try to get the tokens at the lowest price available. To do this, you need to stake your S Fund, and you would do this with 500 S Fund at least. The price is going up. The more people start staking their S Fund to get into gaming, the higher the price is going to go. Now, the all-time high is not entirely way up there. It's around $18, so that's like a 5x from here, maybe 6x. But this is a new cycle, a larger cycle, and gaming is really important. So we'll see. I think this is going to go way up. So guys, I think for today, this was enough. I hope this video was useful to you. We have a lot of noise outside, so we're going to stop it here. We're going to try to make another video once the environment changes a little bit. So don't forget to like this video if you found it interesting or useful, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.